Now we continue our series of sutras which give the name Pragrhyam with the sutra Pluta Pragrhya Achinityam in mind. So far we have Idu de Dvivachanam Pragrhyam, Adasomat, She, Nipat Ekajanam, and now we have 1115 Ot. And I am reviewing the earlier sutras in general principle, but also for a particular reason. When we look at the Anuvrtahi to this sutra, we have Nipataha Pragrhyam, Nipataha Pragrhyam. So if we run through the earlier sutras in this series, Idu de Dvivachanam Pragrhyam, well, there we get Pragrhyam, which is come down all the way to 1115. Idu de Dvivachanam Pragrhyam. Adasomat, nothing to do with adas or following has come down. Adasomat. She, nothing about she has come down either. Nipata Kajanam. Now we're hitting some pay dirt. Nipataha has come down. Nothing about Ekach or Ang for that. So this is an illustration of how interesting Anuvrtahi is, and in my point of view, how meaningful it is that the sort of original cues to the Anuvrtahi were lost in any event. So we have one that has come all the way down from Idu de Dvivachanam Pragrhyam, and then we have Nipatikajanam. So Anuvrtahi to Ot is Nipataha Pragrhyam. Now, something which is not commented on either by Batoji Dikshita or contemporary grammarians that I've seen, not a huge sampling, but fairly in depth. Ot. What is Ot? Well, by Taparasta Kalasya, Ot is Dirgha O. The question that has not been asked that I can see, and I looked at Mahabhasha, but it's easily possible that I missed it there, is why Ot? Why does it matter that this is Dirgha O? In fact, it's usually not even mentioned in contemporary, or even Batoji Dikshita doesn't make any kind of particular note of the fact that it is limited to Dirgha O. And I'm going to come back to that in a minute because it intrigues me. So the first rendering of the sutra would be Ot Nipataha Pragrhyam. Ot Nipataha Pragrhyam. In which case you might think it meant the Nipata O is Pragrhyam. But that's where we have to keep in mind or bring to mind the Sutra 1172, Yena Vitis Tarantasya. What that says is that an adjective stands for itself and, this is underlined, the one that ends with it. So, Ot Nipataha actually means Ot Antaha Nipataha. Ot Antaha Nipataha. Ot Antaha being a Bahuvrihi compound, meaning the one that ends with O. So, the full sutra is actually Ot Antaha Nipataha Pragrhyam. So, a Dirgha O ending Nipata is Pragrhya. A Dirgha O ending Nipata is Pragrhya. So there's no other restrictions on it. It doesn't matter if it's a single letter or dual number or whatever. So the example given is Aho Ishaha. Aho Ishaha. Aho is an O ending nipata. Simple as that. So there's no Sunday on account of Pluta Pragrahya Achinityam. So O is nipata, E is an ach which follows, and they leave each other alone. Now, so here's the part that's speculative and just it intrigues me. So in general, or I think that may be true, when something is restricted to dirgha, you might be thinking that it's blocking Pluta. Again, I'm not sure that this is the case, but the thing is that when something is Pluta can be tricky, because the sutra that makes, say, an O ending nipata Pluta could be in the Asiddha portion of the grammar, in which case this sutra would never know it was Pluta and wouldn't know to forbid that being Pragrahya if that was what was necessary. So if it was just O antaha nipataha, it's possible that somewhere in the Asiddha portion of the grammar, there's a sutra that would make an O ending nipata Pluta, and that would be a mistake. So there is a sutra in this regard which is dear to my heart. It's 61113. Atorora plutada plute. Atorora plutada plute. Because it captures the enigma of something, which also I'm not sure is always fully appreciated, that there is a workaround or backdoor rule in the grammar or convention in the grammar, that a sutra from the previous portion of the grammar, which is not a siddha, may occasionally explicitly call out to the asiddha portion in a way that means that it would be meaningless unless it was understood that it was directly related to a sutra in the asiddha portion. And I will just go briefly over the meaning of this sutra, and you may see why I'm fond of it. When a hrasva a that is not Pluta follows, in place of the preceding ru, which follows a hrasva a, which is not Pluta, u shall come. So, how intriguing is that? What does it mean? And we know it means hrasva a because it's at. Why in the world would it say a hrasva a that's not Pluta? Well, that's because there is a sutra in the asiddha portion which would interfere with the operation of this significant rule, and would render the relevant hrasva a Pluta and would be invisible to this sutra, so it would muddy up the works. So that's why the sutra says when a hrasva a that is not Pluta precedes and follows, which I think is cool. So I don't know if that's behind the requirement that the O of ot be dirgha, but there you have it. So now we have I tu de dvivachanam pragrahyam adasomat she nipate kachanan ot. And more to come.